I have.
Yeah.
It's a chat
You
up.
know when? I can't even. How do you get?
Doing something.
Mine's not. Come on.
It's no
Yeah,
longer saying
I've got
offline,
it.
but it is saying danger approaching.
Can you hear music?
Yeah,
Oh, no, it's
you can hear music.
Is it really loud?
Yeah, it's good enough.
All right.
Only the hearers. Yes.
Does still say Mage and Cloudgate.
It does. Yeah, it does. I don't know how to do that.
Hi everyone. It's as tradition.
Good
Technical issues.
evening.
Technical difficulties.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Chaotic Neutral Presents Halloweek. I'm your inaugural host for the 2022 Halloweek, and tonight, along with a few friends, background noise, I'll be presenting Dark Place for your viewing pleasure. So if we can get a few introductions. First of all, the man who once killed a bear famously with his bare hands, Hermit.
Evening.
Just
I
go
go
for
by
your
literal
front page,
Hermit or
everything.
just
Thank you
Hermit.
so much.
Tonight
Super
I'll be
appreciate
playing
it.
a
Welcome in.
foreign
Make yourself
student
comfortable.
by the
If
name
you
of
try a
Barry
weapon with a
Blasink.
hammer subtype, I'm pretty good with hammers.
Second, the leader of Occult, his own personal library, and the Panhammer and Megapint Studios, Dave.
Hi, I'm Dave. I'm on Chaotic Neutral as Mage Dave. Run quite a few games on here tonight. I will be playing Dr. Blake Rodriguez, Chief Undersurgeon to Dark Place Hospital.
Next up, the silky smooth tones of the valleys, the voice of 1,000 stories, Simon.
Hello, and really glad to see Halloweek coming up with so many storytellers. I'm Simon or Casca, your choice, and today I shall be playing the dashing anaesthetist Jack Canard.
And finally, the chief researcher here at Chaotic Neutral, our fabulous producer, Helen.
Good evening. Oh, it's lovely to be back. It's been a while. Tonight, for your viewing delectation, I will be playing the wondrous Abby Kildare.
So, without further ado, a few final checks, ladies and gentlemen. So, just to check, no one here has ever been tripped up by their own shadow. That everyone is aware that you can't see every corner of the room that you're in, and that's where it hides. It's where the evil hides. Right now, it lives in the basement. Evil, darkness, a touch of blood. The doctor's a dark place we're used to blood. Day in, day out, and with the generator on the fritz most of the time, a lot of them were used to the darkness too. But evil. Bad and unfortunate, yes, but not evil. Dark. Evil. Dark and bloody evil. That's the kind of evil that lurked in the shady acres of the dark place. And it was something a little different. So everybody, if you could squeeze in, gather around, squeeze in, folks, all students, everyone close up. Right. I would like to formally welcome you all to Shady Acres Hospital and End of Life Care. This will be your formal instruction in how to save lives and, with a little bit of luck, not get yourself killed in the process in the first year. Seems to be a problem. We are getting past that. We'll talk about that another time. The doc seems to laugh gleefully to himself, and there is a hint of malice in his voice when he mentions dead students, but it's nothing particularly worrisome. I am Dr. Cassiter. It's not catheter. You aren't as funny as you think. This is Kiernan. He shows signs of delusion, complicated psychosis. He believes that there is a demon by the name of Nylanathtep who's coming to devour everyone in the hospital in the dark of night. Shows no signs of improvement under EST or medication. No signs of any issue on CT, MRI, fMRI, T1 weighted MRI, T2 weighted MRI, DWI, flare, PET, and DTI. UTI is under control. WBC is standard. No history of NIDDM, and administered only NSAID since admission. No history of PTSD. Suspected X44.9, maybe an FO5.9, but likely just SO9.9 and a W19. And on that note, Dr. Canard, what is the 9th cranial nerve?
No.
No.
The ninth. No. Oh.
Dr. Rodriguez, what is the 7th cranial nerve?
The one that comes before the 8th.
Very clever. Wonderful. That'll save lives. Brilliant. But not the correct one. Dr. Blastink, I believe it was.
Yes.
What is the 3rd?
Roosevelt?
Does anybody here know the mnemonic?
Yes, it would be OOO to touch and feel virgin girl's vagina and hymen. Which number would you like?
So, as the doctor blathers on about the history of various patients and Abby Kildare clearly sucks up to the main staff, you wander about on your rounds, question to question, person to person, just taking a look around the room. You will notice now and again that Kiernan never stopped watching the group of you. These eyes have been on the med students since you left the room. And fortunately for you, the 4 of you are assigned to further attempt to diagnose him. So as you wander over to the room, he stares intently. Wordlessly, he just goes from face to face, looking across you, maybe trying to get a read on you. What do you do?
I will take a look at his chart as though I know everything on it and what it means. Note all of the mental health issues and general brain disorders that are going on, and declare the patient would benefit from a brain transplant.
Brain transplant. So obviously in all of this information that you're reading, that obviously you understand, which essentially says there is nothing wrong with this person. He's probably had a bump on the head.
Still my diagnosis.
Wonderful. So, as Dr. Rodriguez promptly asserts that a brain transplant is the best course of action, does anyone have anything they would like to check? Anyone they would like to speak to? Anything would like to say?
I'd like to walk up and very suave and sophisticatedly start talking to the man. To give him some confidence that he can open up to us. That we are people of the world, and if he speaks to us about what really is on his mind, that he won't be mocked because we are people of the world.
Kiernan looks you dead in the eye and says, "I'm not mad. Everyone's going to die."
Eventually.
Yes, but I think significantly earlier than would be expected, even for a hospital. He seems very much with it. He doesn't seem to be out of his mind, as has been described.
How did you come across this revelation?
I'm somewhat of a familial fan of the occult. I actually came here to warn the dean, and was summarily put on this ward in this bed and handcuffed, and haven't left since.
Right. Standard. So you say that you're into the occult. What occult source did you use?
This somewhat complicates things. The friends that I retrieved the information from are not,
which seems to be the holy grail,
not local,
everywhere,
shall we say.
If you can't get it fixed in time for release.
From fairies.
Right, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
And that's how I got handcuffed.
Yep. Yep.
Very handcuffed.
Very rude.
Absolutely. I mean, incredibly rude. I mean, we've all been there. We've all been there, certainly. As I say, men of the world.
I would ask that you speak with Dr. Ross and then come back to me. I promise you, while I seem quite mad, I am quite serious.
Right.
We can
sure,
see that.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to confer with my colleagues for one moment. But thank you. Very important information.
My pleasure.
I walk into a corner and go, "Who's Dr. Ross?" I presume he's somebody I should know, but
One of the doctors here, I think.
So-
I don't really listen to names.
I wouldn't know who she. I mean, who they are at all. Don't you think we should do some sort of neurological examination?
Yeah,
Once
absolutely.
we've performed the surgery, we could see exactly what's wrong with his brain with our own eyes.
I don't think the consultant surgeon is going to take him to surgery on the basis of a house officer, doctor.
We don't need a consultant surgeon. We've got me.
Yes. Right. Excuse me, sir.
Are you going to the doctor who was doing the rounds, I assume?
No, I'm talking to the patient again.
Oh, fair enough. So Kiernan looks at you and goes, yes.
My name's Dr. Abby Kildare. I'd just like to take a few details off you. When did you start thinking that this demon would come in and affect us?
I first got the information a little over a month ago.
And why has it taken you so long to come in to hospital?
I have been in this bed for a month.
Right.
I came immediately. It was not taken particularly seriously. As such, they have seen fit to admit me until such a time that I no longer think there is something coming to kill people.
Right. Have you had any headaches?
No.
Seizures?
Nope.
Flashing lights?
None that were not the lights being flashed by junior doctors, no.
Strange smells?
Nope.
Weird noises in your ears?
Nothing outside the weird noises on this ward.
Any pins and needles, numbness, weakness, difficulties walking, difficulties urinating, difficulties opening your bowels, any blurred vision?
None that didn't present after I entered the hospital.
Have you had any itchy teeth?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Can you tell me your birthday?
I can, yes.
Would you tell me your birthday now, please?
The 15th of the 7th.
And what's the date today?
The date today is the 2nd of January, 1981.
Who is the current Prime Minister?
That would be Maggie Thatcher.
Maggie Thatcher. What a woman.
She would have listened.
Dr.
Okay,
Kildare,
so I've got
if I
came
may.
immediately, in bed for a month, sun flashing, Maggie Thatcher.
Fairly accurate.
Okay,
So,
good.
so we're thinking some sort of paraphilia going on? Maybe some sort of Maggie Thatcher needs to get off type syndrome?
I will say that the flashing was a medical student who came in to flash the lights to wake me up in the middle of the night.
Oh.
Yes.
Why were they waking up in the middle of the night?
Wasn't entirely clear. They seemed quite drunk.
Have you heard any voices?
No.
Have you seen any apparitions? And how many fingers am I holding up?
2.
And how many fingers am I holding up now?
3.
Yeah, nothing.
Right,
Nothing physically.
Right. Yeah, right.
Dr.
Yeah.
Kildare, whilst I think you are doing a fantastic job and a very thorough diagnosis here, I believe that conventional questions are not going to reveal the answer here. I must reiterate that I believe exploratory surgery is the best procedure we could go forward with here.
Of course you would.
I think
Of course you would.
I think the removal of brain to remove demons is a little Middle Ages.
That's where demons come from.
the Middle Ages.
Well, close enough.
Well, if you can get it past the surgeon, consultant surgeon, I'll be much admiring.
So would the psychiatric
brain
assessment be
biopsy, I'm
better
more than capable.
before or after we
But
swap his brain?
You want to, what, before we cut into his brain?
I mean, one would argue a psychiatric assessment before we cut into his brain would be advised, but I can't find anything wrong, and psychiatry is the specialty I have chosen to work in, so I must be right.
Right, yeah.
I suspect he might not actually be unwell. He's not even got itchy teeth. That's usually a classic sign.
Maybe he's just stressed.
I won't pretend I'm not stressed, but I wasn't stressed before I was handcuffed. Please, speak to Dr. Ross. Please.
Yeah, right.
Barry, you're going to have to be the one to speak to Dr. Ross. I couldn't possibly go and speak to Dr. Ross. Yes, no. I think I need to go and do little girl's room. I'll be back.
Who the hell is Dr. Ross?
So Dr. Ross is one of the 10 doctors that are in this hospital that are kind of the people that you would look to with questions. So you can go visit any of the doctors. I can give you the names, but Dr. Ross specifically would be in any of Doctor's Office 6. Give you the names, but Dr. Ross specifically. Let me find out what floor we would be on. Doc 6 would be on the 3rd floor, 2nd office.
Would it be on the 4th floor? 6?
Well, it'd be ground, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th.
Of course, yes.
That
makes more sense.
Yeah, so it'd be the 4th level, but the 3rd floor.
We do it different to Europe.
Yeah, we do it wrong.
Yeah.
Part of the appeal.
I mean,
yeah, you guys do it
we
wrong,
do it right. Ground is the ground floor. That's 0.
That's the 1st level.
No, because the first one is the first one after the ground. You don't. Never mind.
Yeah, but you're suggesting that the ground floor doesn't have a floor if you say that the 1st floor is on the 2nd level.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, on the 4th level of the building, in the 3rd building from the stairwell on your right, you would find the 6th doctor's office, or Doc 6, which was where you would typically find Dr. Ross.
Okay. I guess I'll lead anyone who wants to follow me right there.
Yeah, I'll come too. Yeah.
I'll tag along.
Although I'll be grumbling that it's probably ORF or GARP or something.
Is Dr. Kildare going with, or is she conspicuously absent?
I think conspicuously absent.
Wonderful. So, arriving at the 3rd floor, the 3rd office on the right, the door is shut, but it's showing as occupied. So she is in her office. What would you like to do?
I'll knock.
Come in.
Open the door.
So, sat at the desk in front of you, it's not a particularly large office. Weirdly, somehow, even though the floor plan is the same for every office on this building, none of the rooms appear to actually match the floor plan. It's not particularly well done. There is a brunette lady, shoulder-length hair, dark brown eyes, sat at a desk tapping away at what you assume is a computer, kind of white script on black background. It's pretty newfangled technology. It's quite impressive. And she is not paying a great amount of attention to you when you walk through the door.
What is she paying attention to?
She is slowly tapping away on a keyboard. She is writing something.
Okay. Excuse me, do you have a few minutes of your time?
Come in.
Okay, we'll go in.
There's 2 seats, 2 standard plastic seats.
So one of us will have to stand. Perfect.
I'm going to pace around behind, looking very thoughtful and deep.
Wonderful. What can I do for you?
A bit of a message from one of the patients.
Okay.
So there's a very serious danger coming.
Which one?
Sorry, Tom, what was his name again?
It's Nylon Athertep.
Nylon Aftertap?
Yeah. Oh, you've been speaking to Kiernan?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not expected until like the 2nd of January. She continues typing away.
Except that no matter what test we do, there's nothing wrong with him.
Oh, he's quite sane. It is coming. It's not due till the 2nd of January. We've got time. She pauses. She looks to the side at the calendar. It's the 2nd of January, isn't it?
I'm afraid so.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely 2nd of January.
Right. Okay. One moment. She starts quite busily ripping through drawers in the desk, and she is just throwing things all over the room, digging through. She pulls out 2 small, tightly bound scrolls, looks amidst the 3 of you, and then, since you're the one who's been speaking, hands Barry these 2 scrolls, says, right, you're probably going to need those. I'm in the middle of a paper, so if you could get on top of this, we'll make sure it comes up in your evaluations. Who's best to speak to? If you go to room 106, so 1st floor, 2nd level.
Okay.
106. There is a gentleman there who, complicated gentleman, goes by the name of the Skin Man. He should be able to tell you a little more. If you need me, I'll likely be in my office, but I would like you to try and show a little bit of initiative. And if you can get this sorted on your own backs, this will look brilliant for you. So for the time being, if you can get on top of that, I need to go and make a few phone calls. Okay. And she leaves the room and just leaves you in her office holding a pair of scrolls.
Okay. While still holding a pair of scrolls, I just look at the others and say, does this happen more often in this country?
We don't like to talk about it.
This is normal. Okay. And I'll notice that that Abby is not here, so I'll go to look for Abby on our way to the 1st floor.
Where would Abby be? Is she still hiding in the bathrooms, or?
Hardly hiding, more doing her makeup and adjusting her hair. She will go back to the patient and go, I'm sorry, sir. Is there any other information you can give us about this demon? Or someone else we can talk to?
Nylon Athertep, the laddering horror creature of the 8th dimension. Not a big fan of 8-sided stars. Not a big fan of the sign of the eel. Doesn't like iconography of eyes. Used to be summoned with a golden falchion.
Is it in the Yellow Pages?
Probably not in this dimension. You could try. I doubt it. Right. Typically, a safe summoning for him is 4 people. An unsafe one is 2.
Right.
We tend not to want to summon him too close to the sky. Any of this help?
Should we be summoning him or stopping him coming? I'm confused.
That largely hinges on your attachment to being alive. If you like living, typically you don't want him summoned.
Right.
He tends to pull whole cities into. Well, I would show you, but I'm chained. He likes to pull cities into the hole in which he lives, and then he just sort of does one.
Okay. Thank you for that information. Yes. I will come back to you. Anything I can get you?
The nurses have been lovely, to be honest.
Good.
It's not been an unpleasant stay.
Excellent. All right. Bye then. And she'll go outside and she will page Dr. Kennard, please. Beep, 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 beep.
Someone's beeping. Sounds important.
There is a strange vibration around Kennard's crotch. It's not unpleasant.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah.
It's intensifying.
She pages Barry. Beep, 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 beep.
Oh. Hello?
Hi, Barry. Sorry, I lost you. You're all gone. Where have you gone? What can I do? What should I do? What should I do?
Well, we're trying to find you.
Right.
We have to go to
106.
first floor to 106.
Right. Third floor, 106. All right, I'll meet you there.
First floor.
Oh, first floor, 106.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. Is that British first floor or your funny first floor?
I'll pretend you didn't say that.
Figured.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
It's ground
We
level.
know who's being sacrificed.
ground level. Thank you, Barry.
It's ground
I'll
level.
see you in a minute.
Just so you're aware, you did 100% just lie about where the first floor is because it
I
is
know.
actually on the second level.
I know. I know. There's a floor plan right in front of me.
Yep. So I assume that 3 members of the group end up at room 106 and Abby ends up at T06.
Yeah, it seems right.
So it does have written on the door in big letters and numbers T06. And there is a floor plan on every level. Would Abby notice?
No, she was told
Right.
ground floor, something 06. She's going in. It's obviously the right room.
Okay. So as you walk into the room, there is a great amount of going on. There is nurses, there are people from A&E, there is a whole situation going on, and the person in the bed is currently crashing. And the second they see a junior doctor walk in, they immediately turn to you and say, on the crash cart, quick, and they pull you into the room.
I get on the crash cart.
Wonderful. So this person is not breathing. They are completely still to the world, and there is a lot of movement in the room from everyone else. But this person, when I say isn't breathing, I mean probably hasn't been breathing in a while. Bit of a while. What would you like to do?
I would like to stay where I am, posing wonderfully on the crash cart. And then I think I will use... Can I roll some knowledge to see if I actually have
course
any
you can.
capability?
What knowledge did you take in the end? What was your choice?
Psychiatry. I might know whether they're dead. I might not.
You can. I will definitely let you roll your knowledge. So it is just a. I will say this: you have a +1 because this is not a complicated problem to figure out. Hang on, I am in the wrong place. So we got a. Why is it darkened out? So with a +1, yes, you do succeed on your D6 roll. Your complex understanding of the way the mind works and the look in the eye of this person. And when I say the look in the eye, the look of this person's eyes being completely rolled back and this person being quite dead, it gives away that this person is in fact dead.
Excuse me.
Yes,
I think he's dead.
they're continuing compressions.
I think they're dead.
Really? Continuous compressions.
I will get off the crash chart, get my stethoscope out and go, stop compressions.
God, I was hoping someone would say that. We've been here for hours.
And then I will listen to the heart.
Nothing. No
I
response.
think they are dead. I say they are dead. And the time is...
We're currently rounds, so we're looking between 10:30 and 11.
Okay,
call your
and the
time.
time is 10:58.
Time of death, 10:58. Well, that was a shame, but we all missed breakfast, so I think we all deserve a good pint. And the room just filters out. And this bunch of not particularly professional doctors and members of staff, they just head towards the canteen, which obviously serves alcohol.
Oh.
You are left in the room with this
What
mortally challenged individual.
What does the dead person look like?
The dead person is very short, kind of crew cut, male, mid-20s, maybe very early 30s, decently slim build, cut open clothes from the top half and kind of a skinny jean from the lower half, still wearing black shoes.
I'm going to look at the chart to see what he came in with.
Toe.
Came in not breathing.
Oh.
That's the entirety of the chart.
Oh.
It's not a great deal of information on it.
Oh, well. Right. I think I meant to do something. Oh, yeah. Dead. Signed.
Very
Pops the
dead.
chart down. Wonder where the others are. Oh, well.
So we will... Do you want to start heading towards them?
No. I'll stay here and sit and wait for the others to appear.
Wonderful. So the other three of you arrive at room 106, the room of the skin man, as was named by Dr. Ross. Do you knock on the door? It's just a standard wooden door. It's not one of the open ones that you get in kind of the assisted living wards. It's just a nice plain blue wooden door.
Do we know if doctors usually knock on those doors?
Do you? You are the doctors.
But how long have we been?
Irrespective, I just walk in. Hi.
So, as you say so, a gentleman stood in front of the window, turns around, stark naked, head to toe. Also why he is known as the Skin Man. Rather rotund gentleman, so there's not a great view of anything kind of waist level. And he goes, "Oh, wonderful visitors."
Yeah. We've been sent here by Dr.
Ross.
Dr. Ross.
That's the one.
Rossi.
Yeah.
A wonderful doctor. Wonderful. Not very medical, but wonderful doctor.
Yeah. Alternative medicine. Yeah.
Well,
Very alternative. She's a paleontologist.
Useful.
Yeah.
Cater to all kinds. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. If you want someone who knows bones, Ross is the person to speak to.
Yeah.
Can I help you? If Ross sent you, I assume there's a question.
Well, Dr. Ross gave us these scrolls.
Oh, wonderful. Rituals. Wonderful.
Yes.
Mind if we take a look?
Yeah, by all means.
I'm sorry. I can't. I'm sorry. I have a question.
Yes, of course.
You're called the skinless man. You've clearly got skin.
Oh, not the skinless man. I'm the skin man.
What?
I'm a firm believer that the truth of a person lays beneath the clothes, and to give the truth to a person, you should release yourself of the clothes. I'm the skin man.
There's truth underneath.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's where most people keep it. Pockets, inside the trousers, in the car, in the house, just inside things.
Hidden.
Yes, largely. Largely. Sorry.
That's
Sorry
a good
for
job.
interrupting.
No, not at all, young man. He takes the two scrolls and says, "Ooh, are we expecting some trouble?"
Yeah, quite some trouble.
Oh, wonderful. It's been quiet for a while. He unrolls them. He says, "Ooh, so we have a few choices here. We have a counterspell, relatively beginner. I'm not sure what you gentlemen kind of dabble in outside of the professional pursuits, but
We don't talk about
Opiates.
that.
Yeah.
it's relative ease for the beginner. And then there is a redirect ritual. Not sure what old Rossi's expecting, but she seems to think there may be some goings on, I assume. The odd ghost, demon, creature, fairy, something along those lines.
I think a creature of the killing kind.
Abominations, eldritch, all the same. They all have the same thing.
Nyla.
I want a
Big
city.
hands, pull things into holes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nylathotep.
Oh, Nylanathatep. I know the one. Based on a demon. Bit squiffy, likes to pull cities into holes. I know the one. Yeah, I thought it was about that time of January. The counterspell will be your easier option. The redirect will be a slightly harder option.
Redirect to where?
Buggered if I know. That's largely depending on where you send it.
Make it not our problem. Like it. Bypass.
Yeah.
Solid.
The redirect is not necessarily send the monster there. It's send the spell there.
The spell to summon him.
Well, summoning spells are a target. You find where the thing is, you tell it you want it to come to you, and then it doesn't listen, and you drop the missile on it and pull it anyway. You just move that target a little bit the wrong way, and maybe it hits nothing. Maybe it hits a fairy, a goblin, a small child that's been trapped in hell for millennia. Just
It does sound like we've been visited by some mischievous fairies already.
oh yeah, they are little bastards. They just don't go out in the car park after 6. You'll be fine. Oh, if you do, take sugar cubes. Nothing to worry about.
Might I look at that scroll? Perhaps I'll be able to decipher something on it.
Of course. He hands back the 2 scrolls.
Okay, I'm going to have a quick read of it.
Wunderbar. So
I'm going to use, I assume, rituals. I find that I have been as impressive as I expected myself to be. My occult knowledge.
so you can, I will say this, you can read. You can't read this, but there is definitely a feeling of affirmation in your soul that you can indeed read, because you can read the word redirection at the top of the scroll. On the other, you can read the word counterspell. Everything else, absolute nonsense. You think someone just scribbled, maybe a crazy person.
Now, a standard redirection spell. I see now. I'm beginning to understand. Yes. Jack, you've had some dabblings in the dark arts, haven't you, sir? Would you like to have a look at this?
Yeah. Not dark arts exactly, but kind of more
murky deeds, perhaps?
more kind of hippie retreats. Hairy feet. That kind of thing. Yeah, hippies. Yeah, all over the place.
Hippies.
Well, I don't know. I suppose I could give it a shot. Go on. Let's see. What have we got here?
Oh yes. So you kind of have a leaf through this scroll. A lot of it is here there be monsters and demons and creatures of underneath the darkness beneath the carpet. But there is kind of about 2/3 of the way down what looks like a shopping list. You pass the bits that don't make a lot of sense, but you can dig out some key phrases that you're fairly certain these are reagents, and they are similar on both scrolls. She clearly handed you this pair because it was a case of grab the stuff, make your choice, be read. So if anyone is taking notes, the reagents that are read out by Dr. Jack Canard is nails that claw walls from the unsound mind is the first one. The pain of a recovering soul is the second one. Seepings from burning souls is the third one.
Sorry, say that one again, please, Tom.
The seepings of burning souls. And the final one, the last words of death's agreement.
So therefore,
There are
total. Therefore,
4. So nails that claw walls for the unsound mind. Pain of the recovering soul. Seepings from burning souls. And words of death's agreement. are the prominent kind of, I need to grab these eggs, bread, sugar.
So Jack starts off, when he starts reading it, he kind of goes, yeah, definitely, yeah. And then he starts to go quiet. Then his back arches very slightly. He starts, being a bit stiff. And then he reads the list out perfectly in a voice that kind of isn't his own. It's a bit far away. He's almost like, it's like a hypnotized voice, completely devoid of his usual witless swagger. And then when he finished, he goes, yeah. That looks pretty standard, yeah, kind of thing, and then hands it back, seemingly unaware of what he's just read.
Essentially, who is the scroll going to?
I'll give it back to Barry. Yeah.
So Barry, you now have the 2 scrolls. Now that it's been read aloud, weirdly, completely legible.
Okay. Does this happen every year?
I think Bergas and Nylan Athertep sort of have a timeshare agreement. They both kind of January 2nd, January 5th kind of boys. One of them turns up. There's always some new med student who just gets a bit bored with the studies and goes and studies the occult and decides to try and end the world. It happens. Medical students.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah,
what you're saying is that bottom line, our careers are on the line.
Yes. Possibly not the grand scheme, but yes, very much so.
We need to start taking this seriously.
So which one of these spells have been used in the past? Which one was the most effective, usually?
Oh, I've used them both. It largely depends on your confidence in the matter. Rituals are a funny bugger. They can they kind of hinge on how much you believe they're going to work. So what I would say is, if you believe that you can make the big one work, do the big one. If you believe that you can make the small one work, do the small one. Both will work. It's just, it's somewhat of a waste. If someone's going to put so much effort into summoning something so big, it's usually worth using the energy for something interesting.
Right. Well, I have absolutely no knowledge of this.
I vote go big or go home.
Yeah, big. Yeah, I like big.
Big is best.
Big is always best.
Big is always best.
I mean,
Right.
if we need to convince people of that this will work, I convince people of anything. I just don't know anything about this.
If we're going to be performing rituals, especially with Nyarlathotep in the room, we need some kind of supplies. Tom, does Shady Acres have a shop?
Shady Acres has a cafeteria and a reception. And the reception happens to have a very small but very well-stocked W.H. Smith's. And I would like to say it is time for an advert from our sponsors, Dave, for W.H. Smith's.
W.H. Smith's.
So I'm going to spend one of my bennies.
Right, okay. Right. So scene cuts away to adverts, comes up with the W.H. Smith logo, zooms across, and you see a plucky-looking young shop assistant stepping out from a bookshelf which has lots of occult tomes on it, Tobin's Spirit Guide and all that kind of stuff on there. Steps forward into shot and goes, "You thought we might not be the place where you could get everything you needed to confront that demon that you're dealing with. But trust me, W.H. Smith has everything you need. Are you looking for chalk to draw your magic circles and pentagrams? We've got plenty of that in stock. Do you need magical incense gathered from the gardens of top-notch fairies that have been around for generations? Aisle 4. If you're looking for books on occult practices and spiritual banishments, we're your guys. We have everything you need. Please come and buy it all off of us. Please.
And with that, we smash cut to W.H. Smith's on the reception ground floor of Shady Acres Hospital as the group of three wanders past Abby Kildare, wandering out of a room looking... How does Abby look to be dealing with the fact that she's just had a patient die on her first day?
She seems quite nonplussed, really. She's picked up some grapes from the room and she's eating those. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Hi, guys. I sorted the patient already in 106. Dead.
Standard. Good. Dead. Made sure they were dead properly. Good. Like to see that.
Yeah.
Family pace, though.
Sorry?
Grapes. Good for the skin. Yeah.
Grape
Make sure the family pays.
pace? For what?
Well, for the attempt. You still treated him.
Pay for healthcare. Nope, you lost me there. Right, where are you off to? Is it lunchtime already?
For our American viewers, we do apologise for the salt. The salt is there.
We're not allowed to say shots fired for obvious reasons. So this W.H. Smith's, as Dave politely mentioned, there are tomes on the kind of the fundamentals and the basics. There's a couple of magics on how to correctly. Is your summoning circle in this year 6 points or 8 points? We asked the experts. Just all of the kind of the standard fare for the occultist. They have a wonderful selection of coloured chalks and white chalks. They have various beeswax, fake beeswax, soy wax, all of the best kind of candles. Also, they do a cracking meal deal.
Can I have ham sandwich, cheese and onion crisps, and a Coke, please?
This incredibly bored-looking teenager behind the counter just kind of sits chewing and goes, "Same cupboard."
Honestly, if I go to League of Friends, they serve me.
Yeah, you go to League of Friends, they'll rip you off, love.
They're cheaper than you. How can they rip me off?
Because you've got to pay for fuel to get there. It's like a mile away.
Also, League of Friends don't actually serve you. They give you food, but they serve your soto.
Whatever he said.
I don't
Just
think
grab
they
it.
have that on the specialist list.
They've got the
Fine.
mixer in May.
Just grab whatever you want.
He just pulls out a little bit more of chewing tobacco, pulls it in his lip and just kind of sits there.
Jack is going to pick up a few of the packs that you get in W.H. Smith, which is the write your own will thing. And he goes, one for everybody, and then turns around to the one to the guy who's chewing tobacco at the till and goes, on the house. Throws it at him as if I've just tipped it.
I think they're kind of company procedure at this point, mate. Like £1.60.
Yeah, and I walk out.
He's just like, I think he's worked at this W.H. Smith for so long. It's like, yeah, about right.
So Blake has a shopping list. So he's going to get some kind of trolley, even if it's like way too small for a trolley. He's got or a basket under each arm, and he's going around. Wants to pick up some umbrellas.
Yep, definitely got those.
Raincoats for everybody, obviously.
Yep.
Protection.
They only do them in children's or large, though, because God forbid they were properly stocked.
Large or round.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously picking up some chalk, pair of scissors. Do they have any salt?
They probably have like some really fancy rock salt, but just no practical amount of it.
That is fine. In a bag or something, yeah.
Yeah, like a little kind of yay big box, bag inside of it, kosher rock salt. Really nice stuff, massively over expensive, still salt.
String?
Yeah, you get parcel tape and parcel string, like big twines.
Oh, parcel tape. Yeah, we'll have that.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, we've got a label gun.
There's not one on the shelves, but like it's probably safe to assume there is one in the shop.
Not
It
like
may be
for labeling,
shoplifting.
not for labeling products, but like for like writing out property.
Oh, a label maker.
Yeah.
It's
Again-
got to be one of those ones where you stamp out every individual letter.
yes.
There is one in the shop. It is not for sale. It is behind the counter.
I will negotiate that in a minute. Do they have any alcohol?
Yes,
Right, picking some
all of
that
it.
up. Do they
Shitloads of
have
it.
lighters behind the counter?
They have lighters next to the children's toys.
Of course they do. Speaking of children's toys, picking up a cuddly toy,
Yes, standard.
and I put
Every
down-
single one has get well soon on it, though. Just to be clear.
I mean, this is dark place, so I need to check. Shotguns?
Yes, but not ammo.
Okay, we can work on that.
Is there something we can use for ammo?
And then I'm going to pick up 4 copies of Does God Love Michael's Two Daddies by Sheila K. Butt to use for kindling.
Wonderful. Yep. It's currently in the bestsellers, number 2.
That's unfortunate.
It's a dark place.
Okay, then take it all up, ring it all up, and put it on the hospital credit card. And
Yeah,
put
you
it on
see-
the hospital credit card. Put it on my Boots store card.
When you say ring it up,
Yeah,
what
say
actually
ring it up.
happens? He looks at the trolley, realizes how much work that's about to be. He goes, "Yeah, it's probably about £1.60 as well."
60 rip off.
Look, I've not had lunch yet. Like I've had,
I'll hand him over £2 notes.
yes, like he's like the first person who's paid today. Puts it in, and he's like, "I'm gonna say that paid for your friend as well, if that's all right."
Oh,
And then he gives you your change anyway.
Wait, what's the other thing you wanted? The label gun?
Yep. Oh yes, I need the label maker that you've got there behind the counter.
Can't give you that, mate.
Can't give it me.
No, mate.
What if we buy lunch for you?
Well,
What if I was to tell you that the fate of the world depends on that label maker?
yeah, but I use that label maker for putting obscenities on the children's toys.
Well, I'll be bringing it back.
Understandable.
Can I have it as a loaner? And another £1 note slips across the table.
Give me a minute. Let me just make up a couple of spares. And you just see him tapping C, U, and he just continues off to himself and makes a nice little set of spares. And then he kind of slides it across, takes the £1 note, and just completely not surreptitiously, because he could have put it in his jeans pocket. He slides his hand all the way up his chest, puts it in his top pocket, kind of struggles a bit because he can't get the angle, trying to be subtle. And then kind of, by the time he's finished, there's just a lump in his top pocket where there's clearly a £1 note that no one knows why it's there anyway, so it's completely irrelevant. And he just
I'm
kind
going
of
to-
slides it across the table.
I'm going to hand out a raincoat to each of my fellow doctors. And I'm going to take each of the umbrellas, and with the scissors, I'm going to cut little triangles between each of the spokes. And then I'm going to hand them to them and tell them, do not open them till the appropriate time.
This
Yeah,
is very
standard,
lovely,
yeah.
but where's my sandwich?
In
You
common
can get
land.
it yourself.
Oh,
Oh, 1 second.
I thought Blake was getting it. Like Blake had a whole
Click,
shopping
click,
list.
click, 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 click. I would stick a label to a bottle of gin that says sandwich on it and hand it.
Oh,
Brilliant.
thanks.
It's a liquid sandwich.
It's
Oh,
a
it's
doctor's
different.
sandwich, that one.
Oh. Why do we need raincoats and umbrellas?
He's doing his summoning, I'm guessing.
Just in case.
Yeah, I don't know about that shit, so I'll leave that. I'll leave
Yes.
that to Blake.
Standard equipment, that.
It's gonna.
Abby's going to put on her raincoat and have her umbrella ready.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get a backpack just filled with every snack that they have,
At £1.60, that lad.
and a crate of whatever. And considering we're doing a summoning and I have no idea what to do, I'm gonna buy some cloth to make a Molotov cocktails.
Fair. Yeah, same.
You should have bought that all together. That would have been £1.60. Now you're having to pay £3.20.
No, it's all right. I can just ring it up again. Hang on. And he rings it up again and goes, yeah, it's £1.60. He's right.
Did Barry just say summoning?
We've also had summoning at this point.
If he's cutting hose and umbrellas, yeah.
Triangles along the edges.
Yeah.
Important.
Why are we summoning?
No, we're preventing the summon.
Yeah.
Oh, was it a second already?
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
apparently. Apparently
Fair
so.
enough.
Yeah.
Wait, how? Never mind. No.
Just go with the flow,
Helen,
Abby.
I'm definitely giving you a Benny for this because, like, yeah, that's played the character. Fair play. Go on.
So, did you find out who that Dr. Rass was?
Dr. Ross.
Yes.
Yeah. Why weren't you there with us?
I had to go to the little girl's room. I told you that.
And they couldn't have waited after? I mean, we could have waited for you.
I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure Dr. Rass is grateful
Ross.
that. Yes.
I'm going to require an acting check.
Oh fuck! I pushed it. Why did I push it? Acting.
Go on. That's a 2 and oh damn it, that's a 4. Yeah, it's Barry. She just needed to go to the ladies' room. It doesn't seem to be more to it than that. That just seems fair. And you don't want to question a lady about the ladies' room.
No, of course not.
God forbid.
No. Sensitivity, bedside
Yeah.
manner, absolutely standard.
Yeah.
It's the only
Whilst
normal
I'm
thing
doing
that
this, I'm
happened.
going to lean against one of the shop displays, and I'm going to lift about 10 packets of Benadryl.
Do we have it like? Is there a stealing skill? Hang on, I need to see.
Stealth.
Thievery.
You end up with. There is a thievery skill.
Oh, is there? I was going to use stealth. Okay.
I do have.
So
I do
you
have
can roll
thievery.
stealth to drop out of view.
Yeah.
If you want to try and kind of disappear and do it. So if you want to give me a stealth, I'll completely let that slide that you're kind of not visible when you do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Half inch it.
And can I use my skill in thievery to help him?
Oh yeah, you can So if you're doing an assist, so any success that you get will give a +1 to Simon. So if you want to give me, he has succeeded.
He has already succeeded.
He has succeeded.
And to be fair, this is I just want something that can give sleepy time. That's
yes,
pretty much it. Yeah.
So
And I'll get some NyQuil as well. You know, just a couple of bottles of NyQuil and 10 packets of Benadryl.
just the classics.
Yeah.
So yeah, you they're kept behind the counter, but you stood right behind the guy, and he just continues to chew. He's completely oblivious. Like, you would almost believe that he was a side character were this to be a cheesy 80s show. He's not really. You probably could have bought the entire stock for £1.60 for being completely reasonable, but you seem to be doing the better thing. You're not going to get him in trouble if he didn't see you do it. So fair enough. You get 10 packets of Benadryl, a couple of bottles of NyQuil, maybe a couple of uppers to go with the downers, maybe a couple of extra downers to balance the uppers, kind of whatever you fancy.
There's also a lighter and cigarettes somewhere, or
Oh yeah,
I got
100%.
a lighter definitely, but yeah.
yeah. Dr. Blake Rodriguez. I was thinking of the team and already got the lighter if you want to get the cigarettes. Because got to have cigarettes. Can't be a doctor in the 80s without cigarettes. Are you going to half inch them? Give me a thievery roll if you want to.
Well, I'm guessing they're behind the counter then.
Yeah. Like, this guy's not putting up any defense against this. He's not interested in stopping you.
It's only a D4.
But it is a 7.
Oh, shit.
Explode! Explode me!
So, excuse me. Yeah, you just kind of, you do the classic, oh, what's that? And he looks, and you just kind of go, no, not those ones. He's looking for a good 30 seconds. You've got time to pick whichever you fancy. A couple of Lambert Super King. Nah, we'll go Lambert Silver. Just keeping an eye on me health. Let's not go high nicotine. Let's go, let's go some Silver Label and grab yourself a couple of packs of
few
them.
of that, yeah.
On the inside pocket. Pack of cigarillos. Yeah, and you're off to the races.
It's one of the things I do like about this system is that if you're rolling a d4, the chance of it exploding is actually higher.
Yeah.
So it has lower values but higher chance of exploding. It's really, really strange. I love it.
So we have a shopping cart full of ritual supplies. Abby has her sandwich. Barry has got pockets out here with cigarettes. And I think Jack, what did Jack actually come away with in the end? 10 packs of Benadryl, 2 bottles of NyQuil, or whatever it was.
And about 6 do-it-yourself will packs.
That's the one. Well,
Yeah.
5. You gave one to the gentleman.
That's right,
counter.
actually, yeah.
But yeah, you're pretty well stocked for an end of the world ritual, I think.
I've also got a backpack full of every snack from the shop.
And you're ready for the munchies that Jack's going to have when he's finished.
Yeah, and some cloth and a crate full of alcohol.
Yep, it seems relatively fair. The group of you come together, and just when it seems like, yeah, we're going to get ready for this ritual, we're ready for this, we know what we're going to do. You are ambushed by one of the doctors, and it is the gentleman who was doing rounds with you earlier, and he comes to you and he says, "So, Kiernan, what's the diagnosis?"
Yeah, Keenan.
We're working on it, sir.
I don't think any of us are called Kiernan, sir.
The patient.
I stand by original analysis. I truly believe a brain transplant is the way forward.
Did you get him booked
Surgeon
in?
upon surgery.
I haven't
What a
booked him in,
surprise.
no. I've made my recommendation. I thought the chief surgeon would be the one to do that.
What time are we on? About 10 past 11.
Honestly, I think that he's NAD, really.
But the surgery does sound more fun. But I will say this. Doc Brown is probably completely plastered by 11 o'clock. So your best bet, try and catch him before 9 tomorrow. You've got about a 10-minute window before he's not quite there anymore.
Is this to source the second brain or to do the surgery?
Oh, this is the senior consultant of surgery, Dr. Brown.
Right.
Yeah.
And would Kildare, no, you're Kildare, would Picaldi benefit from getting this other guy's brain?
Oh, no. Brain transplant, he'd most certainly die.
Right.
It solves the problem.
Yeah, standard.
There are more effective ways now.
Yeah, definitely. That's
Couldn't
why a lot of the
we
surgeons
just
carry guns.
pass, give him some ECT?
Oh, we could discharge him. But he
Like
insists on being a nuisance.
discharge electricity into him. Yeah, we could do that.
It's an option.
Maybe.
I mean, if we don't do
That's probably
surgery on him, we
safer
will
than
lose
starting
some of the
with-
grant money.
But it is probably safer than starting with surgery.
Yeah. I'd say definitely, if the world still exists tomorrow, speak to Dr. Brown. He'd be the person to arrange the surgery.
Right, right.
Where's the world going to start stopping to exist? No, where?
5 hours?
Location.
Summonings are usually near the basement.
Basement. Excellent.
Usually. It's not 100%. We've had a few in the upper doctor's offices now and again. We've had one in ICU about a year ago. A couple on the rooftop. Pair of doctors jumped off. That was was a mess. No, usually kind of basement-y-ish.
Doctor, sir.
Yes.
So doctor.
Just doctor. Doctor was a friend of mine.
Doctor, is it possible that I could have the keys to undo the chains of Kiernan, please? It's just that if I'm going to put a lot of electricity through him, it might be a hazard if he's actually changed to the bed.
Tell you what, give me a moment. He takes out a very shoddy looking piece of paper and opens it, and there is just a list of names. He's kind of going, it's not going to be Hud, and he's pissed as a fart by this time. Could try Carrington. Carrington might have the keys.
Okay.
Carrington should be in Dock 3 about this time of day. General rule.
Okay.
Yeah, it's second level, first floor.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I start walking off to maintenance.
Yep.
Yep. I start walking off back towards the shop. See if there's any lockpicks.
Yeah, it's WH Smith, so probably. It's a hobbyist set though. It's not like a professional set. It's one of those clear locks and like 3 picks. It's not enough to get you anywhere decent, but you could use them. They're workable.
And they're going to wear out really quickly. I mean, this is like bitch cast metal.
It's false economy.
I've got skills. So
Can I spend a penny?
You can spend a penny. So
I'm going to go for.
We are going to go an interview, and the interview with David Hargreaves, the actor playing Dr. Blake Rodriguez.
Well, as you are aware, we did actually lose the sponsorship from W.H. Smith partway through filming the episode. So unfortunately, during the second half of the show, we had to downgrade the shop to a Woolworths.
What do you make of the reports that it was due to a bit of a fracas with members of the production staff? Is it what it's trumped up to be?
I definitely didn't key his car, no.
We jumped to an interior shot looking out the windows of the second level first floor maintenance window on the end of the row, where there is definitely not Dr. Blake Rodriguez keying the car of one of the faculty members. Jack Kennard is definitely not rifling through a maintenance cupboard that is mostly just mops. And Dr. Barry Blessing is looking rather displeased that he got 4 lockpicks and a cheap plastic lock, and one of them broke while he was testing them.
Wrong kind of mops. Yeah, wrong kind of mops. Okay. I'm going to see if I can find a toolbox or anything along those lines.
There'll be like your classic red toolbox that's definitely got a hammer, a wrench, and a screwdriver. The classics.
I look through there. Okay. And I'm going to take the hammer and the screwdriver, leaving the wrench, which is probably the most useful thing there.
Yep.
As I do so, I'm going to be taking a double dose of Benadryl and chase it down with Polish spirit.
Nice. So I am going to request, Simon, of you that you are going to be slurring your words from this point on, because there's no way you double dose 2 packs of Benadryl and walk it off like it's nothing. So from this point on, Jack Kennard is played by the actor formerly known as Simon, who was a little worse for wear mid-shoot, shall we say, had a liquid lunch. But we return to, as long as it's okay with everyone, Dock 3, Floor 1, second tier of the hospital, as the group rejoins.
I got a screwdriver and a hammer.
You got hammered on a screwdriver. Yeah, they get me too, mate. They get me too.
Dr. Carrington.
Carrington.
What?
Carry on.
Carrington.
Isn't that somebody from Dynasty?
Could well be.
Who's Carrington?
I was an extra in Dynasty once, you know.
Who's Carrington?
Dr.
I'm
Carrington.
The door flies open and there's just this bloke in a white lab coat surrounded by beakers. Bunsen's lit in the background, rather haphazardly next to wooden shelves and very flammable looking chemicals. He says, yes, I'm Carrington.
Hello, Dr. Carrington. My name is Dr. Abby Kildare.
Wonderful.
Doctor sent me, not doctor, just doctor, sent me to get the keys for the patient that's chained up from you, please.
Which one?
The
The sexy kind of tied up or the police kind of tied up?
A little bit of both.
The one that thinks there's a demon coming.
Ah, Kiernan, the sexy kind. He walks back into the office, finds another lab coat, pulls out a ring of just hundreds of keys and goes, just give me a moment.
Sexy
Not
keys.
that one. Not that one. It might be that one, but it's probably not. It's probably this one. Unclasps it. All the keys fall to the floor. He hands you the one key in his hand. Wonderful. Is there anything else I can do?
I don't know. Is there anything else you can do?
Oh, wouldn't you like to know, little lady? And he slams the door.
Oh, he called me little lady. Oh, he called me little lady.
I knock on the door again.
I mean, you are very short.
Yes.
I have something for you.
Wonderful. What is it?
It's the second.
The second?
The second.
This second?
This second is the second.
Can you ask
second.
whether he's got the key
Is
to
it?
his heart?
Ah, I might have that one too. He walks crunchingly over the stack of keys and pulls out another ring of keys out of his desk and just goes, one moment. Takes a gun out of the desk, takes what could only be described as a marital aid out of his desk, takes his lunch out of the desk, grabs another ring of keys, and then throws the other one in, walks back and goes, it's probably one of these, or it could be anyone else's in the hospital. Hands you the ring of keys.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
I open up the will and go, it's the second. Summoning
It's the
second.
second. I've already done my will.
Good. Where's it?
Probably with legal. I've nearly died a few times this week. They asked for it.
Legal.
Yes.
Good. Bye.
Where is
Aye.
legal?
He slams the door and then opens it again. Legal? Nobody finds legal. Legal finds you. Slams the door again.
That was useful, I think.
So you have the keys to Kanan's chains. You have the big ring of keys that he purports are the keys to the people's hearts. And you have a shopping list of things you need to find and all of the ritual kit that you are possibly going to need. At this point, we are going to go to the actual break of our sponsors, which is sponsored by taking a break and hydrating. Carrington would like you to know it's important to hydrate. And ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take a short break. What are we thinking, 10 minutes? 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah.
And everyone hydrate. Otherwise, we shall see you soon.
See you soon.
Good evening, everyone. It is worth mentioning that the second half of tonight's feature presentation will include themes of the following, as it is Halloween: horror, blood, guts, gore, viscera, it is a hospital, occultism and the attached practices, recreational drug use, and more than likely mild sexism, as this is the 80s, not the best of times. We will be returning to our feature presentation with one of the rarer archive footages, an interview with one of our actors, Hermit, who played Dr. Barry Blassink.
Well, there was actually a bit of a time gap between some of the scenes, you see, and I was actually under the influence for most of the second half and forgot how to speak English.
There is do you have anything to say on the reports that you did, in fact, it wasn't a losing of tongues, it was more that you smoked the script?
I was a student, okay? Paper was hard to come by, yeah. I didn't have a lot of money. They gave me 140 pages of script. I thought, might as well smoke a few ones that I'm not a part of. And it went well. And by the end of the night, I had...
just a little.
I took top half of pages. I had 2 top halves of pages left.
So we return to the Dark Place Hospital. The group has just been told in no uncertain terms that they have the keys to the rooms of the patients, or the hearts of the hospital, as adorable as that is. The group is aware of their shopping list. They have everything that you could need for the beginner's guide to ritualistic summons or counter summons. And as it stands, there is no particular direction other than any which way anyone fancies. To recap for the audience briefly, the laundry list that we are looking for is as follows: nails that claw walls for the unsound mind, pain of the recovering soul, sleepings from burning sores, and words of death's agreement. How would the party like to proceed?
I already know what I'm looking for out of character, but in character, you'll just see me wandering around talking to the patients and seeming to be, playing the really being the doctor. He's being charismatic, reassuring, giving out leaflets of advice and all the rest of it. He seems to be working his way through the patients whenever we move to a different scene.
Okay.
So, and if he's looking for this list, there's no sign of it. And you do remember that he seemed to be very different when he was reading the list out.
So Jack's going room to room and just going, hello, can I help? Is there anything I can do? But in kind of a, yeah, really, really agree. Yeah, kind of way.
I am going to ask Barry if he remembers which of the doctors it was that said they'd made a last will and testament. Do you remember, Barry? We were talking to that fine chap, and he said he had made his will and he was prepared for today. Which one was it? I can't remember his name.
You see Dr. Barry very clearly, much more relaxed. Eyes a bit drooped. If that's an English word. That's an English word. Hermit is forgetting to speak English.
That works.
Smack one up in the middle in the interim. So Barry would remember that it was Dr. Carrington.
Ja. Was dat niet Dr. Carrington?
Yes, Carrington. Yes, that's the man. Let's go see him. I think that is a good place to start for one of these items.
So Carrington is actually the door you were stood outside of. He is the last person you spoke to.
Oh, we're here. I will.
You cut off then, Dave. I heard I will.
Yeah, I'm going to knock at the door. Out of no,
yes.
The sound off filter. I was wondering.
Were you?
I have been doing so. I try not to, but today has been a very interesting day.
Correct.
Your last will and testament, you said you'd made one.
Yes.
I haven't made one, and I don't even know where to start. I was wondering if I could, copy your homework in a way.
Unfortunately, it's still with legal, as it was just before.
Have you not got maybe a draft copy?
Oh, I just do a fresh one each time. It's hard to get the details right because the girlfriend keeps changing.
Oh.
Ik weet hoe dat voelt.
So every time you get a new girlfriend, you change your will?
Yes. I need to make sure the car gets home.
Excellent.
Can't be having the car stay in the car park.
We'll be back in a minute. Shut the door.
Wonderful.
Turn around to Barry and go, we need to find Abby. I have a plan.
I do believe Abby is with you, by the way.
Oh, Abby! You're right here.
Am I? I am. Hello.
Yeah, fast. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have much time. You need to be... I've not forgotten his name in the last 2 seconds.
Carrington.
Dr. Carrington's new girlfriend.
Alluring carriage, yeah.
The fate of the world depends on it. Especially mention his car. He likes talking about his car.
Right.
World
okay.
fate, yeah.
Barry, do you want the keys?
Ik wil de sleutel wel, ja.
No, I think they'd fit in your pocket just fine.
Geef ze maar gewoon. En Barry steekt zijn hand uit. Barry, fuck, now it's stuck in English. Now it's stuck in Dutch. Barry shows his hand like, just give him.
Okay.
Geef maar.
Nice Greek. Knock, knock, knock.
Yes, at this point, because you're the one who knocked. He's only wearing his shirt, his tie and jacket are gone, and his buttons are undone to the middle. Oh, yes, young lady.
Dr. Carrington. Oh, I faint into Wiltz's arms.
Oh, he definitely catches it. Oh, no. She appears to have the vapors. What do we do, boys?
Mouth to mouth. It's the only answer.
The only answer I know. And he takes her in and shuts the door.
I'd like to pay a penny, please.
Go on.
The perfect time. The door closes and it just fades straight into the interview.
Oh yeah, we're going to an interview with Abby Kildare's actress Helen.
Well, firstly, I told them at RADA that this was rather an upper market type of affair. I was hoping to really explore the sexual frisson between Dr. Kildare and Dr. Ross, you know, two women, so wise, so smart, both doctors, subverting the male patriarchy. But unfortunately, the script required that I had to do a Barbara Windsor and be a bit carry-on about it, so thus I find myself receiving mouth-to-mouth from someone who had liver and onions in the canteen for lunch. Let me just say, it wasn't truly pleasurable.
Was there any truth to the rumours about the actress who played Lady Dr. Ross and yourself, or were they unsubstantiated?
I'm not entirely sure what rumours you are suggesting.
There were rumours that the plot in the show of you two having slept together was based largely on real life.
Oh, I'd like to say that real life was much more imaginative and better funded. Lot less shoddy props, shall we say. So, I mean, the base of the story, of course, is correct. Those writers cannot write for shit, we know that. So, yes. But, honestly, one of the most beautiful dalliances of the 80s for me.
With that, we smash cut back to Dr. Ross knocking on Carrington's door. And Carrington opening the door with Abby Kildare in his arm, a new fresh will in his hand, and just saying, "Wonderful, I'll pick you up at the end of the day and show you the car." And then he kind of pushes you out, slaps you on the arse and goes, "Make sure you keep hold of this one, Toots, just in case the world ends." Hands you the will, slams his door. And then Dr. Ross is stood there with you, completely barefaced, just looking you dead in the eyes.
Last words of death's agreement. Tick.
Hi, Dr. Ross.
Abby. The actress playing Dr. Ross storms off, whereas Dr. Ross was supposed to hold a conversation, and it falls back to the player characters to figure out how to continue in this very awkward scene.
Yeah, so I brought you news.
News.
News?
News.
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 Yes.
News.
News. News agent. No, we've been there. Never mind. Somewhere else.
Oh, I have the key for Dr. Kiernan. Let me go and not Dr. Kiernan. Patient Kiernan. Let me go and release them.
Yeah, standard. See what he goes. Follow him. Yeah.
Okay.
So is Abby leaving the group and going to meet with Kiernan?
Yes.
And couple him.
Yes.
What is everyone else doing in the meantime? Just so I know where they are.
I'll follow Abby while using one of the cigarettes that Barry definitely wasn't supposed to use.
Yeah, these clearly not prop cigarettes, because like it was cheaper to get actual cigarettes than props, so they just have a ton of Marlboro Reds and stuff on the side of the fake Woolworths now.
Yeah,
which is it's now no longer acceptable to buy the cigarettes from, but they're still there.
Badly covered up as well. The W.H. Smith sign is still underneath. They've just sort of like...
They've used the W. It's just big W.H. Smith W and then Allworths.
Handwritten sign.
So
I'm going to go off to podiatry.
Okay. What is Dr. Rodriguez doing?
Well, it seems like we're splitting the party. A sensible idea. We can cover more ground that way.
I get into my car and I throw the extra wills in the seat I look into the mirror and kind of narrow my eyes menacingly. And I put the car into gear. It's reversed, but the car goes forward anyway. And it goes forward at speed.
So you're driving on to your next location with Dr. Rodriguez, is that correct?
Are you with me for podiatry?
Oh, you going your own way, Dave?
I mean, I think that you've got a good plan. I will hand you the most important tool before you go, though, which is, of course, the cuddly toy that I picked up.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah.
So,
but no, I'm gonna patrol the halls looking for trouble.
okay. So first we will have Abby and Barry, who are going down to meet with Kiernan, and he is still there, chained to the bed, still looking rather sedate, and just, is everything okay?
Yes, patient Kiernan, I am here to release you from your chains.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
While Abby is showing off the key, Barry is already trying to lockpick, just very casually.
Roll me lockpicking.
Okay. Here.
Yeah, it's as Abby goes to unlock the second clasp, she just locks it, and Kane is just kind of sat there looking as one of you has unlocked it, and then the other has locked it, and just kind of trying to figure out which one of you is at fault, and just staying very calm, just kind of going, I think there's a third one. Doctor?
Doctor.
Yes.
I think there's a third clasp. He's just not dealing with the situation, so he just kind of puts the hand up that you're fairly certain you unlocked and just waits for you to unlock it.
Dr. Kildare goes, you third clasp? Okay. I go and clasp Barry. Hug him. Is this what you mean?
Close enough. He just reaches over, grabs the keys, unlocks himself, and stands up. So, any progress on...
Oh, careful. You've been in bed for 4 weeks, remember? You might not be able to stand straight up straight away without feeling a bit dizzy.
As you say that, he suddenly becomes very dizzy and just kind of sits on the bed and puts his hand and says, my God, yes, incredibly dizzy. Just give me a moment.
Wil je een sigaret?
I think I'm all better now.
Yeah.
And stands up.
Yeah. Barry gives a cigarette. This helps.
Wonderful. Yeah, he kind of sparks one, passes the lighter back. So, any progress on the ritual?
Ritual?
Yeah, the stopping the demon thing. The stopping down the Nathatep. Any joy? Barry?
Die waslijst die we hadden, ja. Ja, we hebben alle spullen.
1 out of 4 is not bad. Do you know which one you're working on next?
Als het goed is, waren we nu op...
I don't know about claws on nails.
Oh, there are plenty of doctors around. They know all the patients in all the rooms. I'm sure one of them could help you. But there is a list of all the patients on each level. You could see what all the patients are in for quite easily if you wanted to find one.
Oh. Okay. Well, you'll go. You can go. You're discharged. Thank you.
Oh, I've not got anything better to do until Nile and Athatep gets summoned or doesn't get summoned. I'll leave later in the day. They do it. It's not wonderful, but they do an all right butter chicken down in the cafe. So I may just, if you need me, I'll be down there, I imagine.
Okay.
And he just wanders downstairs, still in a gown, ass completely on show.
Obviously.
Makes his way down the stairwell and wanders off. Just a cloud of smoke behind him from these horrendous high tar 6 of the 80s.
Barry, shall we go look at the patient list for this floor then?
You see Barry thinking a bit like... that was it. Yes. Which one would you like to?
on this floor?
So if you navigate outside the room,
Yeah.
there's a massive chalkboard the length of the wall with all of the patients on it, funnily enough, that are on this floor. So 10 rooms, name, reason they're in. And with that, we are going to jump over to Jack Kennard as he steps out of his vehicle, right next to podiatry. Would you like to tell us which floor you want podiatry to be on, Simon?
Yeah. So after the driving through a long, dark forest road with lights punctuating the way that when you look at him looking in the mirror, the lights are kind of flickering past his face, and his face is looking very moody and nefarious. He ends up on the 5th floor of the hospital.
Wonderful.
And he walks into podiatry and goes, "Yeah, good for the soul."
Couldn't agree more.
And he walks into podiatry, and he's looking to see if anybody there is going to die of a foot injury.
Looking around podiatry and looking at the doctor who frequently rushes in and then buggers off out the other door and then rushes in the other door and rushes past again, he briefly looks at you and kind of wanders over and just goes, what's the problem? What's going wrong now? What? Come on.
It's okay. I'm here.
Come on.
It's okay. I'm here. Tell me.
And he vanishes out the door again, and then he comes back in.
Good man. Lead the way, and I'll keep
blood.
going.
He basically vanishes. It's Scooby-Doo. He goes out of one door and appears from another. But like he appears in various states of viscera and gore. So he goes from completely clean to covered in blood to covered in everything else, back to completely clean. And then there's a moment where he walks in looking rather dejected and goes, "He lost another one." And then you see his beeper go off and he goes, "Quick, come with me. We can save the next one." And he's going to rush out the door.
Yeah.
This is Doc Campbell.
Okay.
Consultant in emergency medicine.
Sure. So knowing full well that the people who are going to be dying of things that's on their feet, he's going to be going to the head end and talking to them whilst they're being operated on. And because he's an anesthetist, you need an anesthetist when you're operating on people. So he's there basically taking small doses of the anesthetic himself, and just giving just enough to the patient so that they're not screaming out in pain, but still kind of able to answer his questions without going completely under. And he's basically guiding them through a last will and testament, with him as the main beneficiary.
Nice. I like it. Okay. So
and he's going to turn around and say, "Barry, hold this." Barry's not in the scene, and yet he's still there.
Continuity.
And
Continuity is best.
I give him a dictaphone.
Yeah. So just get recordings of everything.
Congratulations, Hermit. You're in both scenes now because we can do that in this fucking game.
So in the process,
you wandered onto the wrong set at the wrong time. I just hand you it.
I'm like holding a sandwich or something in one hand.
He's literally on his break between scenes, and you've just gone.
He's not even Barry. In costume. He just gets handed it. Barry, take this.
He's in half makeup.
Yeah.
So in the process of this scene, you get dragged from room to room with the doctor, and he runs through and goes, "This one's urgent. We need to do this," and then runs to the next one, and this one's urgent. This needs to be done ASAP. Then he's just very much on the point, one to the next, to the next, to the next. I will tell you, not all of these rooms are urgent. Very much not urgent. So
Jack still agrees with all of them. He agrees with the urgency. Yeah, urgent. Priority 1. Absolutely. Yeah.
I want to know whose will and testament you get, and I'm going to go through them. So, room 401. Kate Penn is suffering from erectile dysfunction. Room 402. John James Pena is suffering from a broken left leg. Room 403. Aliza Montoya has her spine intraction. 404. Ariadne McCallum has just lost her thumb. Room 405. Anika Robbins is in her sleep, stood up sleepwalking, drawing eldritch symbols on the wall.
Well, obviously, I can't get the will and testament from her. So instead, I note down some of the symbols in my book. Okay. And what's she drawing it in the walls with?
There's not a lot of paints available in a hospital ward. There is
bloody fingers,
blood,
mostly blood,
blood,
and bits of her own sick. Ironically, she is just painting the walls in whatever bodily matter she can get hold of at immediate. So, like,
because Jack Kennard does not actually listen to people when he asks them a question, he has a full-blown 10-minute scene of asking her questions, her not answering him, and him going, yeah, definitely, I can see, yeah, interpret it, like it, nice.
She is probably speaking back in tongues, I will say.
Oh, in that case, yeah, he will still go, yeah, oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah, no problem. If she's speaking in tongues, I'm going to do a rituals roll to see whether or not I go Mr. Pasty again.
Go on. What's the result?
Fuck me, it's a 9.
It's a success with a success. She is painting on the walls the ritual that you are going, in theory, one of the rituals you are going to use. And what she is painting is the correct patterns. So should you decide to use the second ritual, you have a +1.
Okay.
You do have the record of it.
I turn around to Barry and basically just start reciting the ritual in a voice that's not Jack Kennard. And when he finishes, he goes, yeah, standard. Nice.
Do you want the rest of the rooms, or have you got one that you want to go to get
the one with the broken leg? I've kind of identified her as the one who's most likely to croak it because it hasn't been set properly and there's definitely internal bleeding. So I do what any good doctor will do and make sure that she fills out the last will and testament with me as the sole beneficiary.
Okay, so I don't know I'm not sure what the role would be to scam someone into their last will and testament, but I'm going to go with persuasion.
Yeah, there is persuasion, yeah.
Oh. I don't think there's a fraud role as such.
5, so yeah.
Yeah, you quite succinctly get yourself written into the will.
Okay.
So it's very much when I die, I would like to leave my money to the hospital and its representative, Jack Kennard.
Jack Kennard.
So yeah, you've 100% got this person to write you as their will.
Okay.
They're, depending on how many drugs you gave them, probably quite pliable.
Okay. That was the only one that was leg-based there, wasn't
it? Out of the 5 that you read, yeah. But do you want me to read the rest of the list first?
If only any that I would see that have actual foot or leg injuries.
There's no other specifically foot or leg issues.
Okay. At which point he goes, nice. Standard. Looks at the camera and looks a little hazy, and I'd like to spend my penny.
Go on. So we're going to an interview with the actor Simon, who plays Jack Kennard.
So I did some method acting for this, and so I went up the Addy and got as many household substances as I could get, and basically snorting or drinking or injecting them, and ended up in the hospital for like 3 weeks, which I thought was a really good experience and really kind of added something to the role. Like, but the problem is that when I was off my tits, I found the Jack Kennard character, and the problem is that we couldn't get back to it unless I was tripping balls. Like, so we just they just shot me up before every scene. Like,
so. Was this other members of the cast? Was this people you were acting alongside? Was this members of the production staff?
Well, at first they decided to assign me an assistant, that if they thought I was going to go, like, sober again, that they'd just shoot me up again. But it turns out that many of the passers-by just kept randomly injecting me with things. Apparently it was just like a running thing that just happened there.
We smash cut back now to Jack Kennard trying to get down the stairwell as a nurse who is definitely not one of the production staff kind of wanders up, puts a hand on him, and then just kind of casually pinces him with something as he's wandering past, and then we cut over to Dr. Blake Rodriguez on the wall
Come on
of
in,
the first floor.
Well, Blake obviously arrives in time to see Jack getting injected, because although Jack went off in the car, he went a long way around. So
Yeah, driving from the first to the fourth floor via the M6.
yeah. So, Blake does manage to get here on his own. He's walking through the corridors with an air of calm superiority, as though he's in the right place at the right time and he's the right guy for the job, and he knows it.
So what is Dr. Blake looking to do? Looking for anything in particular, or is he's just here in the moment?
Well, he's just going to come up on Jack and ask Jack, Sir, Dr. Kennard, have we found anything useful on the wards?
Hi, wards. Yeah, can't feel my teeth. Nice.
Would you like me to take a look at that?
Dentistry. Yeah.
No.
NHS. Nice.
I'm not, no. It's not usually my speciality, but, one doctor to another, I like to help you out if I can.
Yeah. Reach around. Love it.
I don't know where this scene is going, but
so I'm spending a penny
in Jack's mouth.
I'm spending a penny, and I want to hear Jack Kennard doing the advert for Durex.
Yes.
At his finest.
Yeah. So together, good. Togetherness, better. Closer. 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 Closer still. How do you get closer? By putting something in between. Safe. Yeah.
Oh, Jack.
Durex.
Separation. No anxiety. Separation. Safe.
And we smash cut back to Abby and Barry, having freed their captive. How would they like to proceed? They are currently on the first floor with access to the big old board, and they have 3 items left to try and find.
Right.
I suppose we'll look at the reasons.
Yeah, let's look at the reasons. Did I start with this accent? Oh, no. Oh. Let's look at the reasons.
It's fine. It's fine.
Does anyone out of game need a recap of the reagents, or does everyone have them noted?
I have a vague idea. I'm not entirely.
We've got them in the chat, the Roll20 chat.
I would just like to say, I think Dave and Simon.
One and none of the others.
Yeah, I think Dave and Simon have gone after
trying
the
to go
same
for the pain
thing.
of the recovering soul, but there weren't any souls that were recovering in podiatry.
Oh, what a
So you
surprise.
doubled up on the last words that we already had.
I will say there were other patients on the floor that didn't have foot injuries that you didn't want to speak to.
I saw someone in your list, which I'm going for in a minute when it comes back to me. So
Right.
There is nails that claw walls for the unsound mind,
go for that.
pain of the recovering soul,
Yeah.
and seepings from burning sores.
Right. Which one are you going for, Dave?
I think I got the nails.
You got the nails. I'm going to look for some sores.
Okay. So are you remaining on the first floor, or are you going to another floor?
I
counting
haven't
away.
seen. I don't know what the patient list is on the first floor.
It's in front of you on a giant chalkboard.
Is it?
Yeah, it's along the length of the wall, literally opposite the patient's rooms.
Yeah, but can I see it?
Yeah, you stood outside a room. You stood outside a doctor's office.
Can out of character Helen see it?
I can tell you them all.
Thank
This is
you.
what I'm saying. You were stood in front of them. Would you like to know the
Yes,
list
please.
of the
I
first
think
floor?
that's what I was trying
That's
to
what I
say.
was asking.
No, I was saying, do you want to get the list for the floor you're on or a different floor?
No, the floor.
No, this
Right.
floor.
So 101 is Howard Elia. Whole body is in pain.
No.
Number 2 is Callista McDermott, who is possessed. I can't read the Brock. You have to shift, bud. Go on. No, go on. 103 is Michael Livingston, barely avoided death. Not much more information than that. 104 is Rosalind Lyon, suffering from confusion. 106, 105 is Lily Mae Jordan, also barely avoided death, related to 104. 106 you have met. It is Judah Hook, the naked man. 107 is Lindsay Keenan, who is suffering from immense guilt. 108 is Valentina Bowes, who isn't breathing. And 109 is Rachel McNeil with cauterized wounds. 110 is Brooke English, whose whole body is in pain.
What do you think, Dr. Blasink?
Barry, despite clearly still being under influence, thinks a bit and says, I think the pain of the recovering soul is addiction. And he goes to the second to last one.
Addiction, important. Yeah.
Was
So
that 109?
cauterized wounds.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
So you're going into 109, which is Rachel McNeil with cauterized wounds. She looks stable. She has a member of the family in the room with her, and she is essentially laid out unconscious. There is significant burns down one side of the chest and the shoulder. It is mostly gauzed, dressed, about as well as you're going to manage. Sorry, the cat's looking like he wants to fight. You're going to get down.
Good afternoon, Dr. Kildare, and this is Dr. Blasink. May we have 5 minutes with your family member? We need to do a wound inspection before the consultant surgeon comes to inspect the wounds for consideration for plastic surgery.
All right, Fed. The woman just walks out. She's been here a while by the looks of things. It's not the first time there's been a dressing change in an inspection. So there's just a young lady, early 30s maybe. Again, significant burns, mostly covered. Unfortunately, much shorter hair down one side than the other. Quite kind of long, rich red hair. In a regular gown under the sheets. Completely unconscious, on a drip, clearly chemically induced unconscious.
Dr. Blasink, have you got any of those medicinal cigarettes, please?
Bit of smile. Takes one out and gives it to you.
Could you light
There
it
goes
for
page
me?
12.
I put it in the patient's mouth.
What? Okay.
So you're getting an unconscious person high, is what I'm hearing. Am I right?
I'm giving her pain control.
She's on a morphine drip.
I don't know that.
You should.
No, completely fair, completely fine.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
this is completely an
hasn't done
acceptable
that
way to
training
treat the
yet.
patient. So yes,
I'm not an anaesthetist. I'm a psychiatrist. I use what I know.
so she's not taking on it properly. Like, she's not an established smoker. Barry's fully aware of this. Like,
It's
what
fine.
she's like, fucking lightweight.
I pull the sheet down. I'm sorry, this is going to be slightly gory for people. I look at the gauze where the wounds are, and I literally rip them off like one felt, like really bad sticking plaster, like yank it, taking off like all the surface, like it's not even skin at that point, but like
No,
literally
the charrings. Yes.
denuding the whole wound. Denuding is a good word.
Yeah.
So now there are definite burn sores which have been, are going to be
Yes.
actively. Weeping is more blood, I'd say, and you definitely see the patient, even in their unconscious state, like take a very few deep
They
breaths
tense.
in and toke a bit more on that
Yeah.
pain relief.
And you could swear that on the wind you hear Nice.
Right, I don't know what we do with it now. There's the weeping sores.
Are you taking the bandages? Because it's not weeping, it was seepings.
Yeah.
So like the bandages will count, I guess.
Oh no, she's there with like little test tubes of the blood bottles, like trying to catch drops off the things.
Nice. Okay. I'm not going to make you roll for that because you basically just absolutely murdered a burn victim for this, and I don't think there's any shortage of material.
And then afterwards, she's going to put cling film, a bit of greaseproof, and then some lovely tin foil over the top.
Put it in the oven at 180 for about 3 hours.
Something like that. Maybe a bit of
Domestic
sous
goddess
vide.
here, Abby. Yep. No, that's completely fair. Until one of the nurses spot it later, in which case, hopefully, they'd know to fix it. Not just assume that the doctor was right this time.
Nurses never do that.
You completely got what you came for. You have a vial of whatever the hell came out of that wound after you ripped all of the covering off it.
And a smoking burn victim.
Yeah.
As you walk out of the room, Jack will walk past and he'll go, look at the vial and go, Jaeger bombs. Nice. And just keep going on.
At this point, the relative walks back in and goes, she's supposed to stab Blade and smoking. And just kind of stows and just slaps the woman. Like, at this point, I assume you're leaving the room while this angry, like, 50-something, 60-something-year-old woman is absolutely berating her unconscious daughter.
Yes.
Seems fair. Does Simon or Dave have a place that they would like to take Blake or Jack?
Yes. What was the name? Can I just ask what out of character? I don't need to necessarily in character. What was the name of the patient that was drawing the symbols on the wall?
Her name was Anika Robbins, Aneeka.
Okay.
And she was in 405.
Okay. Finish writing down what I want to do. Okay. So yeah, I would like to do a scene if I can, but I would like to do it as straight into an interview. Spend the last penny.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Okay. We had this fantastic scene played out. We were going to go in. I was a star in the scene, and the actress who was playing Anika absolutely killed it. But we were going to do the scene where we actually removed her fingernails from her hands. The practical effects for this were phenomenal. You should have seen them. Unfortunately, it didn't get aired because the Nationwide Festival of Light, in one of the few times that they decided to attack Channel 4 instead of the BBC, basically decided that it was too graphic a scene to be shown on TV at any time, let alone after the watershed. Despite our horror theme for the show, the protesters won, and we weren't allowed to even finish filming it, let alone air it.
Do you feel like this has affected your chance at a BAFTA?
I think that it is indeed actually single-handedly the thing which has set back my career. Fucking Mary Whitehouse.
So we at this point, I assume that we are going to cut to Jack Canard if we have a place.
Yeah.
And in the background,
styrofoam cup going, I've got the nails.
It's a styrofoam cup with very clearly, we got it all from the canteen. Styrofoam cup. We've got the tomato ketchup that is quite clearly tomato ketchup that's just been smeared down the side. I just like got the nails. Nice.
There's in the background of Jack Canard being handed this pot of nails, there is quite clearly like a list of awards in this cabinet. It's like Hospital of the Year Award 1981, and there is a spot where it just says Blake's BAFTA, and there is nothing there. And the camera just pans away from it. Got the nails. Does Jack Canard have something he would like to do, or are we bringing the group together? What's the plan?
Yeah, I'm going to Benny into my scene as well.
Go on.
So, like, I only want to work with people of caliber, like, people that I don't know the names of, and people who I can't pronounce the names of. And they did that good for the most part. But turns out that they ended up getting Eric. And Eric, I know him. He went to the same school as me. The son of a bitch run my car into the lock, like. So I didn't realize he was going to be this possessed bastard on a trolley, like. But and as I say, I'd just been freshly injected, so I couldn't really feel anything. Couldn't really even feel my fingers. And so when I saw him on there, I thought, well, I'll give him what for, and jumped on him, like. And they just ran with it. So this possessed lad started thrashing about, but actually it was me choking the fucking life out of him. For some reason it just seemed to work out. Like, I don't even remember the words I was saying. I think it was obscenities, but I think they put some sort of filter over the top. But it seemed to work really well. Like,
do you feel like maybe the producers should have stepped in earlier?
I think the producer was stepping out at that point. I think he'd had enough.
So we cut back to Jack Canard on top of this person, both hands down on the chest, like screaming in his own accent as the camera kind of turns to one side as you hear a door shut in the distance. And you just see Jack kind of stand up off this possessed floor, just go.
Basically, there's a overdub where he's there going, "You fucking wanker! I told you not to get in on my gig, you fucking wanker." But dubbed over the top of that is quite clearly somebody else's voice going, Dome Philia Spiritus Sanctus, and all the rest of it. Quite clearly, they've overdubbed me throttling this guy to look like an exorcism instead.
Okay, fair enough. Are you angling for the last ingredient here?
I am, yeah.
Okay. So the pain of the recovering soul.
Yeah. So he's trying to what they've spun this scene as is him trying to reclaim this guy's soul and to take the devil out of him. But he's the first ever exorcist to be doing it with his hands like this.
Yeah, he's a pioneer. Straight arrow. Yeah.
And then when he jumps off again back to his regular voice, he goes, "This house is clean."
So, for the audience at home, at this point, we have for what will count as 4 ingredients. There is thunder outside, and you're aware that when you asked the doctors earlier what time this whole Nile thing was going, they said about 4 or 5 hours, and it's about high time you got on with that ritual. The group are in various places in the hospital, but there is an emergency page of you all being brought together, and it is Dr. Ross.
Can I spend my Benny so we can go to an advert break, so then we can reappear in the basement?
Yep, completely.
Yeah.
So who would you like the advert to be? And what is the advert?
I would love Hermit to be the advert. And I would like Hermit to do a chocolate bar, stroke, M&M stroke Skittles type advert, please.
Some confectionery.
A confectionery, yes. Thank you.
So to an ad break now for confectionery.
You thought Skittles was delicious. You thought M&Ms were delicious. Nah. These are delicious. You see Barry just covering him with all the
He's
things.
a maniac.
Just this music covering gets. He's at some point he starts laying in a bath just filled with them. Starts eating from the past.
Is he still stoned off his tits? Still got the thing under his eyes? So, it's not even an advert. He's just got the munchies, and they just turned the camera on him.
All new in your area. Marijuana.
Marijuana.
And after a while, you just see him like fill his face with that. And after a while, he knows the camera.
Skittles,
Just-
M&M's.
I'm completely full. Does he was caught in the act?
And then as we zoom out, it's actually just Barry in the basement with the other 3 doctors with him, and he is just absolutely macaroni and pasta, and he is just smokes M&M's, and he's literally just emptying the backpack that he got from WA Smith's piece by piece. Like, all you can hear is Barry just going, confectionery. Everywhere. Chocolate.
So we've got to do a ritual to stop a ritual. I don't understand.
So Dr. Ross has joined you at this point, and she just kind of wonders and goes, yeah, pretty straightforward stuff, to be honest. I don't know. Have you done these before?
I have.
Ritual. Nice. Play it by the numbers.
Synergy.
We can do this.
We can totally do this.
So what do we
Join the
do?
dots. Yeah.
Right.
Who's leading the ritual first?
I don't know out of me and Simon which one of us is actually better at it, but I think Blake thinks he.
I don't think the numbers matter at this point. There's a bit of a whose line is it anyway vibe rolling.
The numbers don't matter. If you believe you're the one who, remember, belief was the big thing. If you believe you're the person who should be in the middle, you are absolutely the person who should be in the middle.
All right, everybody. Remember, I told
Starting
you
to
to
believe.
keep your umbrellas ready for the right time. Now is that time.
Oh, fuck.
You can do this.
I think I left it in that Burns person's room.
But that's not acceptable.
You mean in the room or in that burned person?
In the room.
In the doctor.
Dr. Rodriguez will open his umbrella indoors.
-1 to the ritual for bad luck. You chose umbrellas.
But the modifications he's made to the umbrellas by cutting the triangles out of the flaps,
I will allow that to cancel the bad luck.
when it opens up, it forms a perfect 8-pointed star, which
So-
apparently is something which Nylarthotep is not
Yes.
particularly
Yeah.
fond of.
It does not
So-
like octograms, but you are still opening 4 umbrellas indoors, and the cat is stealing my pencil.
Well,
I'm
I'm
free
going to set
because,
these around
free
the
because
outside. We have
Abby forgot hers.
Yeah, I have string and chalk, so I'm obviously going to successfully use that to create a perfect pentagram, or actually we'll do an octastar thingy, just to.
So you're filling in the open side with chalk, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go all hearted protection circles. Egyptian symbolism, UFO aliens shit, some Xena cards drawn in the corner, stickmen having a happy day with rainbows above them.
I think you should put a wimpy in, because
Wimpy.
wimpies are delicious.
Sure, product placement.
Does a certain member of the group remember that they have the actual correct symbols written down, or are they just not here right now?
Those are here, but
Yeah. Well, put it this way: Jack doesn't know, but he'll know in a moment.
It kind of goes into sanctity. Possession is about to kick in, basically.
So I will start doing that. I'm going to arrange all of the items around in a circle, and I'm going to be very much prepared to start this ritual. And
Okay.
if someone with more sense steps in and says something,
For
I
an
still
assist,
don't know what I'm doing.
that's
you're doing
okay.
fine.
All you need to know is it's going to work.
I hand Abby my umbrella, and Jack suddenly looks off into the middle distance, tears off his shirt, which of course comes off like it's elasticated because it's elasticated. And his torso is covered in tattoos of eyes. He, with like a 1,000-yard stare, just starts going around the place and dipping his finger into the polystyrene cup. Thank you for giving me that prop. Polystyrene cup full of tomato ketchup. Starts doing the symbols on the walls in tomato ketchup.
Okay, you're definitely getting the +1 for that. So, are we going for the higher ritual or the lower ritual?
We're going for the higher ritual.
That's Blake's job. Yeah,
I'm
just writing it.
I also want to set up several of the bottles of alcohol that we've got with stuffed in pieces of paper from the trashy right-wing Christian books that I picked up. And I'm going to hand them to
only the darkest of magic.
to Abby and Barry and go and hand them the lighters and just say, just in case.
That's a holy weapon if I ever heard one, or an unholy weapon, depending on how you swing it. So my understanding of the rituals is that there is an inherent -2 for a difficulty 1 ritual, which is what you're doing.
Yep.
Two of you are trained in it, correct?
Yes.
So because you've got the +1 from the symbols, and I'm going to give you the +1 for the umbrellas because that made me laugh, you're rolling at a 0. The other 2 of you are rolling at a -2 because you're not trained in rituals.
Are they taking part though? Because like if only me and Simon are taking part, then
I think he said like if 2, it would be a really shit ritual, but 4 would be best.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
if they don't have the
possible with 2.
rituals, if they don't have the ritual skill, then it's further more difficult for them because they have to roll basic smarts. But the level of the ritual is considered to be doubled for them.
Yeah, but it's a level 1 ritual. I was already running at a -2. So they would be running at an overall -2 with all the bonuses. You and Simon would be rolling at a 0. Oh, no, you'd be rolling at a 1 because you've not got the double. So you and Simon are rolling at a +1.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I tell a lie. You're rolling at a -1 because 2 of your items were spot on. 2 of them were very close.
Right.
So you're rolling at -1. The other 2 are rolling at a -3.
Can I give all of us
smarts
like a pep talk?
Oh.
And me being so completely under the influence that I start believing in myself. So basically, can I give all of us a pep talk?
So you're going to give
really
me the
start believing.
leadership. Oh my God, they're starting to believe. What can we use for a pep talk is the question, because that is. I don't know if that's a persuasion. I like the idea, but I don't.
I do have a D8 in persuasion.
Yeah,
I was going to say you could use acting for oratory.
Yeah.
I would take acting for the actor making this like the scene from The Exorcist rather than Barry making this the scene from The Exorcist, like being the we shall fight them in the hells that they came from. And if you can give me a good acting role.
This is Hermit trying to steal Dave's BAFTA, basically.
Basically, yeah.
He's seen the Dave's sunk now and he's getting in there.
That's a 6.
That is a 6. So, like, I will say this. I will take away the negative, but it's not going to make them positive. So I think they're both rolling at 0. So Simon and Dave are rolling at 0s. And currently, you and Helen are rolling at -2. Helen, what's your plan?
Please may Abby look at what's been set out, what she's been given, and use her 6th sense skill alongside her psychically sensitive edge to determine whether this is actually a good idea or not.
Definitely give me a 6th sense roll. Psychically sensitive. What's the advantage on that?
Just whether it'll
you're definitely getting the +2.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, they get vague information about the scene.
Yeah.
So this is the correct ritual. Had you picked the other one, it wouldn't have stopped it.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't have happened now. But this is the way that you stop it.
Okay.
So yes, you have made the right decision.
Wow.
Doesn't mean it's safe.
No.
Yeah. Just means that it's the correct path.
It's the start. And I'm rolling
Yes.
smarts instead of anything else, yeah, for ritual.
Yeah, so you're rolling.
Smarts at minus.
Well, it's
three.
an untrained ritual skill, so it'd be
No,
in at a
if you do-
D4 minus 2.
If you're doing, but there's a special thing in ETU. If you're doing rituals when you've never been trained in rituals, you can roll smarts, but you have to double the level of the ritual.
Right, that's fine then. So yeah, you and so Hermit, you and Helen are rolling smarts, but
Wow, nice one, Helen.
I exploded.
it's once, but still nice. Actually, everyone else may as well give me a roll because there's 5 rounds to do this.
Right. So if you're effectively as lead guy, right? Because we're doing a group roll, right?
You've got a +2 on this roll.
No, it's because of the way this works. It's slightly different. So
Well,
Helen can give me a raise because she got a raise. Yeah.
right.
But Hermit failed, so I lose a raise. So that's just cancelled Helen's benefit out completely. So Simon needs to pass, and I need to pass, or we failed.
Well, you need 5 successes in 5 rounds because it's a major
Yes.
undertaking.
Okay, so we can keep going on again.
You'll keep going, but like if you fail, you're going to fail.
If we fail outright on the first roll, though, we have to stop. And is this dark magic? Because if there is, there's a chance I suffer from a dark magic curse.
It nearly was, but you found a way around it.
Right. Okay. Because the dark magic curses are funny. I love that table.
Yeah, I did have a good look at them, and like one of the ones that you guys rolled was actually one of the dark magic one. It was the Death's Agreement.
Right.
Well, obviously, because you didn't actually get Death's Agreement as such, you got an agreement about death. It got you a -1, but it also got you out of using dark magic. So, like, fair game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So just remind me, I'm doing rituals at -1.
Rituals at 0.
Rituals at 0. Okay.
Yeah.
Do I need to roll first one?
I fucked up.
And you haven't got any bennies to reroll.
No. So now.
No, I will say this.
The only way we don't fuck up now is if Sai gets a raise.
I will also say this. Everyone has been in character tonight, so I am happy for there to be a Benny across the board to each player. So if this is the turn that you wanted to use it, I was going to say it before, but you were in the middle of a monologue and I didn't want to cut it because I was laughing.
If I've got a Benny going, I should use it.
Yeah.
On that roll. I'll use it then. I'll use it.
Well,
4's a 4.
4's a
It
4,
counts.
but like, it could have been better.
come on
could have.
then. Come on
Definitely.
then,
What you got for
Dr.
me?
Cantor. Canard,
Let's see how we go.
even. Dr. Canard.
I like canard as well with having that accent as well. It's like not
Canard?
normal ard. After
Canard.
2 cans ard. Oh, canard.
No.
There you go, Dave.
Oh,
So,
what's that? That's a double explosion.
Yeah.
so 2 out of 5.
Yeah, so we've got 2 out of 5.
Yeah.
So let's all roll again.
As you channel this ritual,
Let's
like
all roll
it's clear that
again.
everyone is putting their energies into it, but like there's 2 of them kind of going, are we just taking the piss here?
Thank you,
I
Helen.
use my
There's
Benny too.
a pass.
Does it mean I roll twice?
You roll once, and then if it fails, you can roll again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you can spend the Benny if you don't fail. Spend the Benny.
Probably a good time to spend a Benny.
That's a good time to spend
Absolutely the
Benny.
time to spend
Did you
bennies.
literally
Two
get
natural
0
ones.
and 0? How did you manage to get 0 and 0?
That's matching natural ones.
Jesus Christ. Oh, you can't re-roll on matching natural ones, can you?
I was
Yes,
about
you
to
can
say
still
that.
Benny it. You can still Benny it.
Oh, you can still benny. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't use any re-rolling skills. I would also check. I'm fairly certain some of you have skills that help with, like,
All of mine seem to be combat. I've got dodge and killer instinct, but we never came to
I only
initiative.
got the sense.
well, like the plan was for you to
So,
screw the ritual up and have to
Barry-
fight the monster.
Barry passes and Helen passes, so that's fine. I get. Oh no!
I have a 4.
That's an oof.
You've got no bennies left, have you?
I've got fuck all I can do about
Yep. He's benniless and he's just got the double ones.
Yeah.
So who's
Uh,
got
here we
pennies
go.
left?
He's not having a re-roll.
Ooh.
Oh.
Looks like I'm using mine.
If yours doesn't explode, does this fail the ritual?
Yeah.
that. I got a critical failure. Something bad has to happen regardless of whether we succeed or not.
I
Yeah.
kind of know what the bad thing that's about to
Yeah.
happen is.
We've failed.
The
and I
ritual
failed.
has failed this turn.
We've outright failed.
Yes!
And I got a critical failure.
I mean, oh no, what a
Wait,
shame.
who still
Uh,
has bennies left that they can
um,
use?
And me,
I have one
but
penny
My
left.
architect possesses me and conquers the world from darkness.
If you
To
can
be
get an
continued.
exploding success, Helen, and get to an 8 or Hermit, that would
No, they've already rolled though, haven't they?
no, they got bennies. Instead of just a
Oh,
success,
right.
if they can get an 8, that would be enough to like pass the
no,
roll, wouldn't it?
I want the ritual to
I could
fail.
do 4.
Obviously, I want the ritual to fail.
Hermit,
I think
your
I'm-
shout.
That's how the episode ends. It's like dark
Probably.
place. It's like a thingy, a sky beam.
Like, is
and
there
demons
something
are
after that?
flying out the top of it. Ghostbusters ending.
Is there something after that a Benny can be used on?
There is nothing after this by the sound of it. I think like
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna use my Benny.
Ah,
I was about to say, technically, you can use your Benny to be the sole survivor because it
Yeah.
allows you to stop one bout of damage.
So-
So basically, you're the guy who told the tale.
Yeah.
yeah, you could just actually switch straight to an interview right now and explain how things went to shit.
No, I don't want that. If everyone's gonna die, I'm gonna die too. Fuck this.
Are you making that last roll then, or do you want to let it go as it goes?
I'm gonna make the last roll.
oh, I'm looking at the wrong screen. God damn it.
That's an 11.
We are that. Oh, what happens on that? It gives you one success.
Okay,
Yeah.
so usually one success. Something bad has to still happen because I got a crit fail. But
But we're still going on the ritual, so we can
still
go
get
another round.
ritual. So we technically get another ritual roll now with.
So as this ritual is going on, you can see that Blake is like, yes, I was definitely the man for this. I'm definitely the person to be doing this ritual. You watch as this blackness just creeps up his leg as he's holding court on how definitely he was right for this. His confidence has never been shaken. He's definitely the right man for this. And then you notice that he's gesturing only with one side of his body, and that's because his left arm is stone and he hasn't noticed yet. So he's just wildly gesticulating as one half of his body is basically now part of the foundation of the room.
It's fine. It's always been stone. Stone's excellent. Stone is hard.
Stone is hardy.
I just like
So
to say,
Wonderful to be stoned.
double explosion. Thank you. And on
So
a D4.
we have a success.
Jesus Christ.
So
Explosion.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
This is the ritual.
Yeah. That's the right. Assuming that the other two don't double crit fail,
Yeah.
what the fuck is up for us?
Success. Hermit.
Do I need to do it again?
Yeah.
This is the
One
last
last
roll.
one. Because
All
your
you have to do
roll,
is
we got a
not
chance- we
completely
got
fail.
a second chance.
Just
So-
don't get to 2 1s and you're fine.
Fucking A.
Boom.
We'll pull it out
Nice.
at the end.
Nice.
So,
And partially turned to stone, and we succeeded.
So here is the redirect. You have the option because you hear, I don't know what's gone wrong. What do you mean you don't know what's gone wrong? We haven't summoned it. Yeah, but we did everything right. Why is it not being... The fuck is that? What do you mean the fuck is that? Turn the lights on. It's a rabbit. What do you mean it's a rabbit? I mean, we summoned a rabbit. Well, what do you think was going to come out of a hat, you prick? And then you just hear screaming. Just, it's got me! It's got me! Ah! Just choked, gargling, screaming as whatever this creature they have summoned murders the pair of them and wanders back through the hat that it came out of.
Is it the killer rabbit?
It's the rabbit. It's the beast of Kerbanok. While this is happening, Blake is like, yeah, I told you it would be perfect. Let me just... Oh, I can't get my smokes. My pockets are all a bit solid.
No
Has anyone
way.
got any smokes?
I got you.
It's like, just lights up a smoke. At this point, like, the lights come
Smoke
on
it
and Dr. Ross just kind of goes, Rodriguez, you know you're made of stone.
I'll sleep it off.
Stone squared. Nice.
At the it switches to kind of a group shot of the 4 actors next to each other, in the interview space, and the interviewer is just speaking, saying, so my understanding is that while there was the opportunity for funding, the decision was made not to continue. Was there who was it who decided to step back, or what was the reason that the show ended so abruptly?
I think it was like lack of artistic vision. Like
The sponsor
Right.
didn't like it. The sponsors didn't like the creativity.
You
And
try to break the mold, like, and it just doesn't work. You know, people like the reliable stuff. You know, I mean, come on, sheeple. You know, we're trying to make art here.
What
I
about
think
you,
you'll
Helen?
find that even for Channel 4, it was a little bit over the top, and people just didn't appreciate it. Mary Whitehouse, God rest her soul, just didn't feel that it was compatible with British values. And as you know, everybody takes on what Mary Whitehouse says. So, and it had nothing to do with the fact that I asked for £500,000 for the next season. Absolutely nothing at all to do with that.
We are
The
obviously
irony
the
was,
great
of course, that
artists.
Mary Whitehouse was going to be the end of season boss.
It was. I did hear reports myself that she was at some point slated to be playing Wonton.
Look, creative differences aside, I just don't think that the people were ready for the vision.
Yeah, we are the great artists that are underappreciated in our own time.
Tell me about it. Underappreciated is perhaps the tagline for this entire debacle. I mean, I got screwed out of my award. Never a greater injustice has been done.
It went to the burn victim in the end.
It had one line, and it was a cat could have played that.
So, in your opinion, what do you think the future is? Do you think that we'll see another episode? Do you think we'll see a second season?
I don't know about a second season, but I can imagine that in 40 years' time, society might actually become enlightened enough to take some of these old shows and rerun them with new modern ideas and fresh blood. We were just too early.
Helen, you were going to?
Oh, I was just going to say it was a shame that Dave rejected the Green Cross Code Man, because apparently that actor went on to great things in the cinema industry and possibly could have propelled our little programme into much greater, thresholds. But as we all know,
got a Christmas special and everything.
That's not that. No, that's an unfair comment, and I deny any accusations that I made a mistake by turning down that role. I didn't want to be stuck as the face of some advert. I was meant for bigger things, and we all know it. I was just.
He drives a truck now.
Oh,
Drives very well.
A big truck.
Bigger things, yeah.
I think in about 5 decades, this will become the new standard.
I tell you, if half the cast weren't high all the time, maybe things would have been different.
Hey, that's method acting. You have no idea. You know our idea. We suffer for our art. We don't just flout about.
And as
Float
the
about?
actors begin to argue, the camera zooms out on this small black room in the middle of London as you see the towers burning and the rivers are dry and the tentacles of Nile and Athertep reach out to rip what is left of the city, while 4 delusional actors argue in a small black room safe in their cells about how the world didn't end and they saved it. One failing to get his BAFTA, one failing to get his rocks off, one failing to score, and one very much just failing to touch reality for a good period of the episode. Thank you for joining us tonight in the Dark Place. It has been wonderful having you here, and I hope you all have a wonderful Hallows week. It has been fun. And remember, you can only see 3 corners of the room that you're in. It always hides in the 4th one. Thank you very much to everyone who started with me. I would like to say a big thank you to Helen as our producer and as one of our stars.
thank you.
Dave for being Dr. Blake Rodriguez. Simon as our masterful Jack Canard. Nice. and Hermit in whichever language he has chosen to speak at the time. It has been an absolute pleasure. To everyone else, I would wish you a good night.
Tomorrow we'll be joining Mike, one of our DMs in Chaotic Neutral, as we're going to be playing a little more serious and silent this time round. We are going to be playing Alice is Missing, arguably one of the harder games to put onto a stream, being that the players don't speak. So we're going to be trying something new, something different. We're going to be putting the text on screen. If you haven't seen how Alice is Missing works, look it up online. It's normally done by texting between a bunch of phones. We're going to use Discord, which has been done before, and it has been streamed before. So what's going to happen is that the players will be playing, and I will be speaking with chat, and we'll be discussing how things are going. So you can follow in one of two areas. You can follow the stream, or you can follow on the Discord. You won't be allowed to write in any of the channels, but all the channels will be there. And you yourself can flick between the channels and join the conversation on the stream by typing into chat. So if there's something that I'm missing, you can turn around and say, you know, Simon, take a look at these two people talking. They've just turned the story into a new direction. Completely experimental. We've never done anything like this. The last thing that we did that was anything like this was No Roles, No Rules, which we did 2 years ago, where we decided to do a completely systemless ghost story, and it worked perfectly. This is going to be an even greater challenge. So join us tomorrow, and join us on Discord as well if you can. If you're not on the Discord, have a look on the stream notes below, and you can join us there and talk about some of the rest of the games that we're going to have this week. And I'll leave it to Helen to close us out.
Good night, all. And we are clear.
Thank you, everyone, for that. That